Hey everyone, this is March Cart. No, not. Well, I was gonna make a video of March Cart, but at some point because that was a meme post I had ready for something that I want to share, but it wasn't finished yet. So there's a March Cart video coming soon. I already made another Diggs video a few days ago, and this is another Tony Cashman video. So hello everyone for Tony Cashman. This video I'm going to at least explain why I still have plans to make Claymation and still make them public. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on what I mean by that. And for the good news is that I'm actually going to bring more public and tribute Claymations as you might expected from before. I'm going to bring those anyways. I'm going to actually be more the Claymation animator you always wanted me to be, and more than that, because I think I'm feeling like it might come back to that anyways. So that's the good news. The bad news is I still feel a little bit trapped, but it's not that bad. It's like I think I got relief from some things I tried to do, because even if I didn't actually do them at all, it was better than not doing anything. What's the situation? I guess being stasis too much, so it wasn't like that. But so that's kind of the bad news. That's kind of more personal, but it might affect you guys in some way, shape, or form in the future if I don't resolve it. But I'll try my best to anyway. The reality, the thing with this is that the first time I went out here and said I was gonna do a, I think there was a few other ideas. I was gonna do the give myself one, give you one. I don't know even how I upload that on YouTube yet. That video about that. It's still on this hard drive. I just checked. It's on here somewhere. I don't know if I uploaded it yet, but it was like a. There was definitely a video where I said that I was gonna quit Claymation as a decision. And I didn't upload that on purpose. And then I had a video that I did upload, which was the I'm going to try to focus some of my Claymation for private commission stuff that I didn't explain completely for a reason. And then it was like a, and have the rest of my passions and other, my talents backing up other passions and hobbies on YouTube, and then have some passion for the things I was doing with the Claymation talent on the other private commission stuff. So that was on YouTube. That was one of the last few videos I did before the total Claymation reel I did earlier in the month, or last month, or weeks ago. And I had one review after that, I think, and then it was like a, which was the idea, I think. And then that was the last idea I uploaded. So I'm here to say now that I'm most likely going to, even if I'm still bluffing with even this expression, I think I'm going to come back to YouTube with the things I've been doing before and better things. I'm going to probably try to do the bring back up the tributes and the parodies. Maybe have a deep doc Claymation, which I mentioned before. Have Claymation series. You might like that for that. I always meant to do that. And the reason for this coming up like this is that it's not that I'm having too many take-backsies, too many back and forths. It's just that sometimes I was in stasis even when making certain decisions anyways and actions, I guess. But I wanted to be able to make sacrifices that I could honor, and if I didn't already do them, that it's okay. But the reason I said stuff like that, like I was gonna quit Claymation, and not even in an indecisive way, but like I in that 17-minute video that I didn't upload on purpose, I meant those words that I was gonna make the decision to quit Claymation, and part of that was the desperation to resolve my PMO addiction with no Fabulous retention, and to see if I was willing to give up things that were important to me, but where I was willing to give them up in order to have a better lifestyle. And you might be wondering why Claymation would stand in the way of me having to pursue my better lifestyle. And part of me is saying, well, that's not so much an excuse to me. There was a reason why. There was like several. Part of it was that I wanted to be willing to give something up that I did treasure, and I didn't know how to give up. And to an extent, I did care about Claymation, even if it wasn't a passion, or was more of a talent than a passion ever could be for it. But it just, and for me to think that Claymation, it wasn't necessarily thinking that Claymation was in the way of resolving my life problems. It was that even as a tool to solve them against them, it was still not enough to do something about it. And that's why sometimes I would think that getting a Claymation might help me open other doors in the process. And so that's where that reasoning came from. The give one, get one isn't so much of a, it's falling with Struthless's content. You can watch it if you want to. I don't know how to give the link yet, because I might not remember to, but just such a Struthless or Struthless on YouTube, and you probably might know what I'm talking about if you've seen the video. He's not that popular, but he has pretty good content gems about life advice and stuff, and even being a YouTuber, I think, or content creator. Content creator and life advice, which is pretty nice. He's very energetic too as well, so that's nice. But he goes about how the give one get one is about being able to have enough of something for yourself and for other people. The cake philosophy, I guess you could say, the make a cake and eat it too, but really like being able to not be too selfless or selfish at the same time, and that balancing that kind of thing, being generous but also being self-loving. So, and that's one way to do that in his opinion, and that's a very good advice. I try to do after a while, but I might still fall that fallacy even now if I can. But if I had to give more than I ever want to get, or vice versa, then maybe that be a tip of the balance every once in a while. Not having perfect balance, but bouncing every other way anyways. So let me get this off my chest already, is that I'm not going to quit Claymation, and I might not have to be too dormant away from Claymation on this channel, or even have Claymation on that channel too much, even then. It's like I might be in a position to even show you, to review, well I think I did a little bit of this anyways, but if I ever had to be able to give you the actual Claymation projects I have finished or other ways, which I kind of hinted at before anyways, but there were discrete ways I did this that made it easier and fair in my opinion to make that work without being too compromising or anything else. But you'll pretty much see the gamut of what I worked on, not just since the montages. You'll see the gamut of what I worked on Claymation, even if it is too private to see anywhere else. It just but yeah, I haven't quit Claymation. I'm probably gonna bring out the cool stuff anyways. There are some things that still concern me, like literally like the way I approach content creation with not knowing what content I like, and also the quality content thing. Like I always had a paradigm shift with the actually being a creator that I can respect, which I do respect my content creation abilities and what I've done already. And it's just the things I'm really after, not being patient and grateful for what I have now, whether I have other things in the future or not, which I'd have to be patient in then. I mean, technically the monetization would be nice, the audience would be nice, but I don't have to be too upset about that if I don't have them. I never was. Even with the slow growth, I may have inhibited on accident or on purpose because of my content creative decisions with quality content and with like things I could have been doing differently, which I didn't always do on purpose for my own reasons. Not always excuses, I guess you could say, even if I make excuses. But, and yeah, having those dilemmas as well. So it comes to me that I may have been a little bit dishonest about the Claymation stuff in particular. I wasn't desperate to give up Claymation, but the thought was there, and it was not so much that I didn't believe in Claymation anymore, or even the idea of being creative, which I always didn't think I never actually truly thought I was a creative person, whatever context that goes under. But that's there be it. It's just it's been its own thing. So it's just the Claymations I can probably mention towards the end of this video as of maybe now. What Claymations I have in mind. Project Tether will still come out at some point. But any storyline, show franchise ideas I have, whether they're just pilots and they always be pilots, or there are other episodes or short mini seasons, whatever I could do. They could not just even just for like saving time, but like to actually like have a good time with the Claymation, just how it is, whether it tells a story or not. But it's like any show franchises I do, or any ideas for tributes or bigger projects I do, starting from scratch or small, and then going from there. And some of you kindly advised me to start from small and go up there anyways, but some of you also blindly or accidentally assumed that Claymation was my passion. I wasn't fond of that, to say the least, unfortunately, but I try not to take that personally, so I'm sorry about that, but I just, so Project Tether will come, hopefully someday, since AST 2017, 4+ years later, 5+ years later. It's like, I'm sorry if that's taking too long to consider, but there was a pilot idea that had that could make it very, very easy to make, but like with eyeballs and a dark screen, the eyeball ideas I have with my creativity. I guess if you've seen some of my drawings before, with Pale Hatchet and Zesty-san, it's pretty cool. But it's nice. I have the extra epiphany now that I can come back to Claymation with public stuff on YouTube, even after other lifestyles I've inhibited lately. Inhibited as in gained it and collected. But I keep saying it like that though. But Claymation will come back. More of it will come back. You'll see more of me anyways. I won't have to always be as personal or private with it, and whether either context of that, not to you or to myself. It doesn't have to be like that all the time. But there are still controversial perspectives I have with stuff like that. So when I bring philosophies into this channel or other channels, it's not to be a jerk and be like, oh, I'll never do Claymation again, or I'll talk about whatever I want without consequences. It's just that I want to be able to be myself, and some of that can be a little frustrating to manage, because I know that I have to be careful anyways. But just even with Claymation, I have to be careful, because I can still make a film about with a story idea that can offend somebody, and I can care about that to the extent I can, hopefully. But I have to care about what everyone thinks, but I have to also be able to make sure that I'm doing my best behavior, I guess you could say. But that's not even be hard even then. So, but yeah, I think Claymation will be easier to bring back now. I've been taking enough of a break on an accident, and maybe intentional at the same time. I've been taking enough of a break on Claymation. Amongst the last things I did with the clay props in particular was disassemble a bunch of them to make extra clay blobs in the back of my room over there. They were over here for a while. There was a bunch of extra clay I got from the old props. I took them apart for like an hour or two, and that was a nice activity, by the way. That was nice to do. I never made the Nico the Pirate Wind Waker tutorial, which I'm sorry about. I even made it up to on Patreon about that. I didn't deactivate Patreon though, so it's still there. But just I was actually thinking about that too. I'm sorry, but I'll update Patreon soon if I can. If anyone wants to pledge to me and make sure that I make these Claymations with or without your nuts, I probably do. If anything, I enjoy it. I will appreciate anyone who does that for me, even if I don't honestly literally need the money. It will still help me fund those submission projects, and I promise I will do that with the money. So if I can't even at least promise anything, but it's just but yeah, so the Nico Power didn't come back as a tutorial video yet, or series yet. I was gonna do it with Yor from my Smartime's family as an example, for what he would sculpt in the video. That was gonna be like animating him sculpting something in the video, which you guys probably have an idea how well it would work. Like maybe like a looped him, like a when we saw a loop of him animating something, which I would have to animate the prop making, and that's not as hard as that sounds, but it would be a little bit of fun activity. It's not too hard to make as it sounds, but it would take a little bit of time. So just if I did that with Yor, Forger, and Nico the Pirate, that was the tutorial. And then there was the I was actually going to sculpt Emilico and have Kate, even though I already ruined the Kate prop already, but from Shadow's house I was going to sculpt Emilico with Kate to make a full a version of the OP and the ED, and then maybe not so much full, but have more elements of Emilico with Kate. And I didn't get that too, because now Kate's already ruined and almost partially disassembled. So not completely, but that's what makes it worse. And then there was actually going to be a Spytime's family OP with after the tutorial was finished, to do with Yor, Anya, and Lloyd Forger, and then do Sans for Desmond, and then do paper cut for Anya, and then do action figure, stop motion figure for Lloyd, and then have Yor be the only Claymation prop, and then just disassemble each one over time to be clay props or whatever else, and have a moving RC car for the beginning scene. There was so much that went to that. I wasn't trying to get over my head with something that too unrealistic, but it was just creative. I want like that every once in a while. And then I may have mentioned it before, but it's just you saw some of these Claymation submission ideas I had. If I ever get the Claymation in the future though, or even now, I could do a stream and then just stream myself talking for a bit, and then see if I can just push myself to make a Claymation right away, and then see if it works, or a clay prop. And I can do some myself. I can do stick figure animations. I can do Claymation. I tried that before with this. I tried it with this prop. I did a Claymation where this prop was supposed to represent stick figures, but it was just like he was like a warrior, Cooper and Cleaver, and Soldier of the Stones. And he was in that other Underfist animation. Both of those were like in 2019, and it was nice. But yeah, I did a stick figure animation. But I did some of my ideas, whether they come through or not. You still like the end result. I honestly do believe some of you guys like the end result, no matter what it is. Because Claymation by default looks really creative and cool, charismatic. Hard work goes into it, whether I believe it or not. As myself, maybe that's not necessarily humbling. It's just I actually don't believe it being that hard, because it feels convenient. But that's probably the good thing of being a fun thing to do, even if it's not my passion. But it's just So I'll probably also I could do a YouTube stream here. I'll just stream about talking about Claymation and talking about things in the news of Claymation. Maybe doesn't have to always be relevant. I might make a clay prop. I might animate that clay prop. I might do editing on the stream, which I can stream on Twitch, I guess, until I figure out a coding program for YouTube and Twitch that's better than just Twitch streaming. But all right, that should be it. This is not gonna. This might not be the end of the video, but if it is, be sure to right my nose. Be sure to like and subscribe if that's what I should have been saying before. I don't have to say it anyways, but comment below, share the video, read the description if I'd make one. I don't always make them anymore. I used to make long descriptions before, and they were really nice to make. Even when I was depressed, I made the long descriptions, and I was like, then I made less text descriptions, which I guess honors conciseness. I'll talk a bit about that on Marshcarf. But I made short descriptions, and I stopped making descriptions entirely sometimes, and then I made just every once in a while I'll type a bit for the description just to PS or mark things without actually making an actual description. So it was kind of funny, but I still do that. I would type a little bit every once in a while and not have descriptions at all. And sometimes I still make long descriptions, but you know. But yeah, Claymation coming back. I might make a quick Claymation you might even like to appreciate, even if you don't know my whole story, even if you're not supposed to care about my whole story, you can still like appreciate what I do with it. And I'm pretty sure that I'm still going to combine elements like philosophy, soft skills, vlogging, all the like of that stuff. Just storyline, having those elements in there, and still accompanying the fact that I will still animate them, which will still be good either way. So, take care, everyone. See you either in a stream or another video. Hopefully on this channel, not just digs and March which I'm still going to work on anyway. So over time, be safe, everyone.